Welcome back to Good Morning Pilipinas. Ngayon naman puntahan natin si Jules Giang live sa Skydome, Quezon City para sa International Youth Day. Jules?
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Dayan. And yes, live na live tayo ngayon dito sa North EDSA para sa celebration ng International Youth Day. Nandito nga tayo sa SK Festival at para pag-usapan ang mga activities na magaganap ngayong umaga, makakapanayam natin si Commissioner Earl Saavedra, ang OIC Chairperson ng National Youth Commission. Good morning, sir.
Magandang umaga, Jules. Magandang umaga sa mga tagapakinig at tagapanood natin.
Sir, happy International Youth Day po.
International Youth Day.
Okay, sir. So this morning, ito po, gathering po ito ng youth leaders from all over the Philippines. So ano po ba ina-expect natin?
Well, definitely, no. More than 1,000 young people will be gathering with us. Isang malaking celebration ito kasi annually, meron tayong theme na pinag-uusapan for the International Youth Day. So what we wanna do right now is to highlight the Sangguniang Kabataan, how we are re-engineering it, how we are reviving the structure in order to make sure that nation building is in place.
Sir, one of the milestones of the National Youth Commission, especially during your term and the rest of the commissioners na nakasama ninyo, is itong SK Reform Law. So ano po ba yung mga significance itong SK Reform Law, lalo na para sa paparating na SK elections?
Maganda na ma-advocate natin sa ating mga kabataan kasi magkakaroon ng election this October yung mga salient provisions. Una, yung concept of fiscal autonomy. Pangalawa, tinitingnan din natin dito yung anti-political dynasty provision which was first made into an enabling law kasi alam naman natin na hindi pinahihintulutan ng ating constitution yan pero wala pa kasing batas, no? So through the Sangguniang Kabataan, ma-institutionalize natin yung anti-political dynasty provision. Pangatlo, yung consultative mechanism by strengthening the katipunan ng kabataan kung saan sila ang tutulong sa SK sa pagbubuo at pagbabalangkas ng mga plano para i-implement sa level ng barangay and for the advantage of our youth, no, in the 42,000 most basic structures sa buong bansa. Now, apart from that, meron din tayong nakikita dito na importance of launching the Comprehensive Barangay Youth Development Plan kung saan dapat ito yung magiging basehan sa paggastos ng mga SK sa kanilang pondo. So these things are some of the particular provisions na gusto natin ma-internalize on the part of those who will be elected as SK officials, and through the help of the youth ay makakaskade natin itong information para naman ma-appreciate ng mga members ng youth sector and to gather support from all the rest who believe na meron talagang chance na dapat ibigay sa SK.
Sir, yung iba po sa mga viewers natin, ibang mga netizens, yung nilalabas po nila yung mga issues before ng SK, like parang nagiging training ground down ng mga corrupt officials, tapos nun, puro paliga lang daw yung ginagawa ng SK. So with the SK Reform Law, paano po nito matutugunan itong mga issues na to?
Well, on the brighter side of things, dahil i-re-engineer yung structure, we expect a better SK. It's a new SK with new breed of leaders, with better concepts and mechanisms. Kasi naglagay tayo ng safeguards, Jules. Kung tutuusin, no, sa linggo at lengguwahe ng mga bagets, humugot tayo sa mga past experiences ng mga naging bahagi ng SK, na witness kung ano yung limitations ng SK. And this time, after the SK Reform Law was signed, we expect na itong mga enabling policies kung saan mag-guide sa ating mga kabataan will definitely reintroduce SK. So, like for example, itong issue nila na masyado namang hindi na puput into good use yung pera ng Sangguniang Kabataan. Paliga, beauty pageant, projects na hindi naman talaga responsive sa pangangailangan ng kabataan. Sa bagong batas, hindi nila pwedeng gamitin ang kanilang pera kung wala silang plano. So dapat needs-based, tutugon sa pangangailangan ng mga kabataan yung panggagastusan ng pondo ng SK. Apart from that, early breeding ground for traditional politicians. Sad, no? Kasi naririnig natin yan. Meron tayong provision under the new SK Reform Law na those who will be elected cannot assume office unless they undergo mandatory training.
So may mandatory training. Ano po yung trainings dito?
So, may mandatory training. Ibig sabihin, kasi sabi nila, na-elect na SK yan, baka naman hindi niya alam anong gagawin niya when he or she assumes the office. We need to provide the mandatory training because it will ensure readiness on the part of those who will assume as SK officials. Ano-ano yung context nito? Ano-ano yung premise na kailangang i-introduce sa mga kabataan for them to become effective once they assume office? Una, leadership. Pangalawa, management. Pangatlo, how to man an organization. These are very basic things na kailangan tulungan natin sila how to tie the ropes before they venture into the specific responsibilities na ibibigay sa kanila under the new SK reform.
So talagang really looking forward sa bagong SK na magaganap, especially the elections will be on October 31st, right? Okay, so sir, ngayon naman tumutok tayo dito sa event na to. This morning, I heard marami pong mga authors ng SK Reform Law ang pupunta dito. So ano po yung na-expect nating messages from them?
Well, una sa lahat yung commitment, dahil they did their part in making sure na mapasa natin yung SK Reform Act nung time na inintroduce ito sa Senate at sa Congress. Ang importante kasi ngayon, naandyan pa rin sila. Kasi the President wants to introduce the concept of federalism, how we can empower each local government unit. So, ipapakita natin yung importance ng institutionalizing the SK Reform Law by means of highlighting also the commitment of our legislators. How far can they push the SK Reform Law implementation for the better?
Thank you so much, sir. Please do invite everyone to vote on October 31 for the SK.
Yeah, we continue to remain hopeful that the election will push through this October. And of course, I encourage everyone na kung ano man po yung mga specific youth agenda na meron po yung National Youth Commission and the government itself, tulungan niyo po kami para ipaalam sa ating mga kabataan. The International Youth Day is not only for young people, it is for everyone. Come and celebrate with us.
Thank you so much. Once again, nakasama natin Commissioner Earl Saavedra, ang OIC Chairperson ng National Youth Commission. Thank you so much, sir. Alright, balik tayo ngayon sa studio. Diane Carrier, back to you.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Jules Gian.
Ako po si Cathy San Gabriel. Subscribe na sa PTV YouTube channel. I-click lang po ang subscribe button.